Well, good evening. Welcome to the 5th grade strings concert. I'm Ann Branch, and I get to be the strings teacher at Claymont and also over at Henry. Lucky me. Especially lucky me to overlap at least 1 year with this group. This is a really great, smart, oh my goodness, funny, and often hardworking group of 5th graders that I have been really pleased to get to know this year. What fun personalities. Some fantastic musicians in this group, oh my goodness. You're going to hear some of that tonight. We got to do an assembly today during the day, sort of a final dress rehearsal to get ready for you guys. And I had teachers coming up to me afterwards saying, wow, that is a really good 5th grade orchestra. And I was like, I know. So we've got some detailed things that we've worked out that I'm really excited for you guys to hear tonight. We're going to try our best to get all those details in. It's a lot, you know, when you're under the gun. This evening, just thank you for prioritizing this tonight. This is a good use of your time. And the time that your kids are spending with their instruments, good use of their time. There's so much that's happening in their brains when they're practicing. There's so much that's happening socially at school. To be a part of a group like this and get to experience teamwork, but not on an athletic field. It's a little different. There's a lot of overlap, but it is a little different, and it's so valuable. So thank you. Good job, moms and dads. We are going to start off with a piece called Medieval Kings. I blanked. Medieval Kings. These first three pieces, if they sound familiar to you, fifth grade parents, we did them at all district too. But there is just no way to get all those little nuanced things with that many kids. To be honest with you, we barely attempted to do that. But with Claymont, we can totally do that. And I hope that you heard dynamic changes, that means changes in volume. This fifth grade music is very complex in terms of who plays when. So at the fourth grade concert just now, pretty much everyone is playing all the time, for the most part. In fifth grade, they're having to learn to count rests and learn the value of being quiet when you're supposed to be quiet. Hello. So it's really good. We are going to do Samba La Bamba for you now. Part is an Irish fiddle tune. And so the fifth graders have, we have learned this tune, which is not too hard, but it's not super simple either. And then we worked together to make an arrangement out of it. And this is something that musicians do all the time. Like I do this with my peers. We'll all learn something, and it's pretty straightforward, and then we say, okay, how can we make this more interesting? And so even this morning at around 9:30, we changed something about it because it made it cooler. So it's been fun. It's been like a living piece of art that we started out with something really simple, and then we figured out how to change it. And we've also learned some terms along the way and some things about how music was put together. For example, at the beginning, well, actually all the way throughout, you're going to hear a musical question, and then you'll hear the musical answer. And I think that even if you're not trained in music, if you have that sort of framework in your mind, you'll be like, oh yeah, I hear what she's talking about. We also learned about something called a drone, which a lot of different cultures use a drone in their music. A drone is low, sustained pitches that a melody can kind of sit on top of, but that drone acts kind of like a foundation or like a pillow that everything else can sit on top of, and it just makes it more interesting to have. This is the Rogerstown Park. string explosion. It's so much fun. love to work with these guys. Oh my goodness, it's so fun. Look for parents, look for emails from me regarding summer opportunities. Please keep these kids playing. The Path of the Least Resistance is the Parkway Strings Camp. People love that camp. Kids have so much fun at it. My kids had fun at it. It's nice and close, and it's fairly inexpensive. So I encourage you to look to sign up for that if you haven't already. There are other opportunities, and St. Louis has so many cool things. There's like an Irish film camp. There's a place where they teach a lot of improv and stuff like that. And then there are, of course, like just orchestra things to do too, regular orchestra stuff. So I encourage you to do that. I want to say the phrase private lessons into your ears, because I was talking to my mother recently, who said she's not a musician, and she said, it never would have even occurred to me that that was a thing. I don't think, and so, and what a life changer that was for me. So if you've got a kid who is really liking strings, I encourage you to do that. I work really hard to teach them as much as I can, and yet I know there's nothing that can replace private lessons. If that's something that is in the cards for you, I encourage you to look into it. A housekeeping thing. Well, first of all, the kids are gonna pack up, and kids, before you leave your seat, will you pull up both? If you have 2 tags, pull them both off, and can you handle recycling those for me? And then if you can help stack chairs, that would be tremendously helpful. The way you do it is tip forward, step on the back bar, and that